wabarakatuh. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to High Impact Publication Coaching 2023 webinar. My name is Nurul Watimin, the CEO of FASS, as well as Faculty of Art and Social Science PhD candidates, your host for today. For an introduction, this webinar comprises of 4 high-impact publication coaching classes that will be held throughout the year 2023. Today, we will cover only for Class 1 topic. This is the agenda for today. I would like to remind all of you that this webinar will be recorded for future viewing. Please be informed that there is no Q&A session after the class, and therefore, if you have any questions throughout the class, please feel free to type them into the chat box and our speaker will do his best to address them during his session. Ladies and gentlemen, let me share with you the webinar house rule. Number 1, be respectful. All participants should be respectful towards one another, including the host, speaker, and other attendees. Number 2, keep it professional. The webinar is a professional event and attendees should refrain from using inappropriate language or engaging in any behavior that is deemed unprofessional. Number 3, mute your microphone. To prevent background noise, attendees should keep their microphone muted unless requested by the speaker. Number 4, use the chat box. Attendees can use the chat box to ask questions, make comments, or interact with the speaker. Number 5, respect the presenter time. Attendees should arrive on time and stay for the entire duration of the webinar. Number 6, no recording. Attendees should not record the webinar without prior permission from the host or the speaker. And the last one, number 7, follow the agenda. Attendees should follow the webinar agenda and refrain from asking questions that are not related to the topic. Now, without further ado, let me introduce our esteemed guest speaker for today, Dr. Tawa Marian Kanesan. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Tawa is a founder and chief editor at Proofreading by UK and has more than 100K academician followers. He also had published more than 70 papers, mostly ISI. He will be speaking to us today about analyzing and synthesizing a WOS paper for high impact literature review. Dr. Tawa, thank you for joining us today. We are eager to hear your insight on these important topics. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to learn from Dr. Tawa today. Thank you again for joining us and we hope you enjoy the webinar. Let's get started. Over to you, Dr. Tawa.
Thank you, Ms. Nurul. Thank you, Zasprin and team. Also, thank you, JPMK, UM. I hope I said that right. So thanks for joining everyone. To all 230 participants, I've also shared the link again in the chat box. In case if you want to inform your colleagues, your friends, there is still space for them to come and join. So with that, Dr. Tawa, so let's get started. Let me start by sharing my screen. Okay, that's done. Let me spotlight myself as well. Okay, so that's done too. Okay, so and all of you, please keep your chat box open. That's very, very important throughout the session. As Ms. Nurul mentioned, the Q&A at the end won't be available. So whatever questions you have, whatever you want to discuss, please do so during the duration of the class itself. Okay, during the process of the class itself. So let me set up everything. So yeah, keep the chat box open. Feel free to chat. I mean, not chat, but chat in the sense that, you know, feel free to ask questions, discuss any issues that you have regarding your academic issues, not personal issues, academic issues. You can also raise it in chat box. Whatever I can help, whatever I can advise, I'll definitely do. We have some of the biggest forums in the country and also one of the biggest forums in the world as well. So we have a huge Telegram group open for discussion. You know, you guys can come and share knowledge, ask for knowledge, collect data and so on. I'll be sharing the link to that. We also have one of the biggest group on Facebook, biggest page as well. So a lot of followers, a lot of info.
Oh, Web of Science.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let me make sure that I mute everyone. Admit. Okay. Okay, so everyone muted already. So, okay. Can everyone see my screen clearly and can see my face clearly as well? Please respond in the chat box. And my sound is clear as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. All right. So again, I think that's okay. So again, thank you very much everyone for joining. This is our first class out of 4. So we have in total 4 classes. This is the first of 4. And the entire theme for 2023 would be literature review. Okay, we are focusing on literature review. Literature review has about 4 different segments we need to focus on: finding the right source, that means finding the right literature or like the right material for us to actually analyze. And then number two is that how to actually synthesize the document, then how to actually summarize the document, and finally how do we present that in publication or proposal or thesis and so on and so forth. So that's the whole intention of literature review. If we can do that 4 steps effectively and efficiently, our life would be very, very easy. But that's not the truth. Of course, in PhD and master's, life is not going to be easy, no matter if you don't know the 4 things or not. But at least we can get to the end point as fast as possible. Okay. So with that, our first class will be focusing on analyzing and synthesizing a Web of Science paper for high impact literature review. I am, for one, always support Web of Science papers. I love Web of Science papers because they are always, not always, I would say 90 to 95% of the time, they are very dense, contextually strong, technically very, very rigorous. And most of the Web of Science papers go through very, very tough review process. Okay. And all my publications in Web of Science all went through rigorous review process. There were no easy way out when it comes to Web of Science papers. I believe as part of requirements, most of you are required to publish in Web of Science as well, or some only required to publish in Scopus. So whichever it is, it's not an easy one to publish, okay, Web of Science. And in order to publish at the level of Web of Science, in order to write very good thesis and very good proposal, you need to read the right material. That's why I stick to Web of Science as much as I can. I'm not discriminating any other papers. Okay, I'm not saying you shouldn't read Scopus, you shouldn't read non-indexed journals and so on. But preferably, the preferred literature will be always Web of Science. Okay, it's like people asking you, do you want, okay, I give you for free, do you want to select Ferrari or Proton? And it'll be like, definitely Ferrari. So that's Web of Science. Okay. So now with that, just a bit of quick introduction about myself. I have a PhD, completed mine in Newcastle, UK. I did mine about 2 years and 11 months. I graduated before time. Never did my master's. I was on fast track mode. Then I continued my research journey in AIPT Birmingham. I was a postdoc there. Then with the interest of gaining industrial experience, I come back and joined Telecom Malaysia R&D as a manager. I was there about 5 years. Concurrently, I also started my own company, which is widely known as Proofreading by UK PhD now, throughout Malaysia and few other countries in the world as well. Currently I'm the chief editor and founder. I'm also an adjunct lecturer with UTP, and I've accumulated grants in excess of about 5 million USD. Thank you, Nabila. Thank you very much. It was not easy. It was hell-bent for me. Definitely hell-bent. Okay. Then I've achieved, I think now already 60 plus, almost 70 plus, I think, publications. Some are still under review. 3 US patents and 8 global standards have contributed across different countries. I was also a consultant with Georgia Tech Industrial Advisory Board at Atlanta. 6 different or 7 different awards now, and I think now probably more than 8 to 9 dozens of invited talks already, including what we are doing today as well. Okay. So that's just very brief information about me. Okay. So thanks to my organization that enabled and actually supplied me with a lot of information, okay, knowledge that I've gained over the years. It is only viable because of my organization. Because when we have only our own knowledge, there's nothing much we can share because it's the same thing we're doing over and over again. But when we write academic consulting firm, we hear from thousands and thousands of people. You know, we work with them, we support them, we consult them, we coach them, and they come back and share many different things, and we discuss. You know, we keep learning every day new things, not only in my area. Now I work across the board. So I'm very thankful for, you know, for being able to share that knowledge with you today. So we are the only ISO 9001-2015 certified academic consulting firm in Malaysia, and one of the few in the world. We are also endorsed and recognized by SFEP, also known as CFEP in the UK. We are also registered under Human Resource Ministry, under HRDF, and we are also, actually now at the logo yet, we are also recognized and also granted MSc status, MD status by MDEC in Malaysia. So we are also known as Malaysian Digital Company lah. Okay, and we have presence in about 34 different countries. One of the primary reasons that we could attain Malaysian digital status, and these are all our footprints so far. We are also official proofreader and also completed MOU with the following institutions. And for today's class, I'm going to share what I've accumulated from 24,000 clients of ours, what I've learned from them. Okay, I cannot say that I've taught them all the time. They also taught me a lot of things. Okay, being human, we always learn both ways. So I'm going to talk about thesis a bit today. I'm going to talk a lot on proposal actually. I'm going to touch base on publication because the subsequent classes, class number 2 and mostly class number 3 would go 100% on publication. Okay, I'm going to talk a bit about thesis to journal conversion. By the way, if you're confused, these are all the services that we provide. I'm just going to share knowledge on specific areas. And then I'm also going to share a bit of knowledge on language as well. And those are the base items that we're going to look into. Okay. All right. So participation. My first and foremost advice, keep your phone very, very far away from you. Don't keep it in front of your eyes. That's very, very bad, very, very distracting. You will never get back these 2 hours in your life because I won't repeat my class. Okay, unless I do it on Facebook Live lah. Okay, and whatever questions you have, be keyboard warriors. Okay, and you can keep your camera off. No problem. Okay, enjoy yourself. Oh, sorry, we are fasting. Most of you guys are fasting. This is not applicable this time of the year. Okay. All right. So coming to all of you, before I always start my class, I always share all the resources that I have, all the free resources that I have to all my participants, to all my followers, so that you guys can go and learn after the class, learn more and learn whatever that you need. And I'll feed that into the current class as well. So with that, my first and foremost important resource center that I have are my Facebook Live classes. Okay, this one I do on monthly basis, couple of classes, I think 3 or 4. I just had one yesterday. So I just want to check with all of you. Have any of you attended my Facebook Live classes before or not? If you never attend before, please let me know in the chat box so that I can show you where to go and find 125 of my classes that you can go and watch for free, all the recorded classes. Okay, all right. Okay, seems like I haven't reached yet. Actually, I had the opportunity of running classes at last year, but that was only for engineering faculty. Engineering faculty and built environment. I didn't have the opportunity or time to reach out to other faculties as well. But thanks to Ms. Nurul this time, I think she worked very hard to make sure that all students can benefit from the class. So you guys should thank her as well. Okay, so seems like majority of you guys never attend my Facebook Live class before, which is not an issue. So let me show you where to go and find these classes. Okay, so this is our Facebook page. For those who have Facebook, here is the link. For those who don't have Facebook, I totally understand because not all of us are fond of social media. But what you guys can do is can register a Facebook account just for the sake of knowledge viewing. That means you want to view class, you want to watch classes and so on, you can do so. All right, you can do so. You don't even need to upload your profile photos and so on. Okay, Hafiza always join my Facebook live session. Thank you very much, Hafiza. Appreciate that. So that is the link I've shared in the chat box. You can click that and you'll basically arrive here. So let me with you click the link as well. So I've clicked the link. So I'm here now. So this was the class I conducted yesterday. Not this also, this one. This was the class I conducted yesterday, theoretical framework, how to choose. So if you're interested, you can go and watch the class later, choosing a theoretical framework. Once you have arrived here, you can click follow button or like button. It will be somewhere here. Make sure you do that. Otherwise, you won't be notified of any content we share on daily basis or any Facebook live classes for that matter. What do we share on daily basis? We share a lot of notes. You can see that. Okay, these are the things that we share on daily basis. Okay, important papers, research gap, this kind of very, very important notes that we share on daily basis. Okay, every day night we will share, and sometimes even during the day also I will share. Okay, so for that, for you to know whether you will be notified when we share notes, or when you'll be notified when we create new event, you need to click this and click favorites. That means like or follow and then click favorites. Okay. So I'll give you all 1 minute to do that because I don't want to rush through. Okay. Okay. So seems like you guys are done. So let me go to, you can click more and then you can go to videos. Okay. So once you come to videos here, you will arrive at this tab. Okay, this is yesterday's class. You can go and watch later if you want to. And then if you scroll down, you can see here the total playlist, 125 classes. All these classes are free. Okay, absolutely and totally and awesomely free lah. Okay, all right. Most of these classes here, people pay for workshop to go and learn. But I take time, and whenever I can find time, I'll come and teach for 1 hour or half or 40 minutes or 45 minutes and so on. Yeah, Hafiza, I agree. So Hafiza said in the chat box, don't forget to put watermarks, doctor. The others love to copy your templates without giving you credit. She's very right. I'll share the templates with all of you shortly. Many on Facebook pages, they actually reuse my Facebook template. They share as their own and they get 1,000, 2,000 shares, unfortunately. But I've reported the ones that I've seen before. You guys can see the templates that I created. If you guys see anyone else share without putting the credit on Facebook, please go and complain. Okay, do help me out. All right, that is called IP plagiarism, definitely. Okay, it's very bad to do to people who actually created with their own knowledge. So, okay, never mind. Coming to the videos today. So what kind of classes we have here? We have writing review journal before proposal defense or candidature defense, for UM. How to design questionnaire instrument, how to read a Web of Science paper. This one you don't need to watch. I'm teaching you today. Writing PhD master research proposal. This kind of very, very important classes. Road to proposal defense and Viva. How to paraphrase, PhD award, PhD after time with award-winning thesis, literature review databases, PhD strategies for part-time students. Very, very important, this one. Q1 Web of Science journal class with Dr. Hidayat, and so on and so forth. You can find a lot of important classes. Example, this one, problem statement writing. This was a bit old, but I'm going to redo this. You can go and watch this if you want. Chapter 1 writing. You can find a lot of essential classes here. So whenever you have time, whenever you want to learn, you can go and learn from here. Okay. All right. I hope that is clear. And then I have, like what Hafiza said, these are all the templates that I have in my Telegram group. So such as literature search databases, critical literature review template, literature summary template. We are going to use this today. We're going to use this today. And then we're going to also look into this today. Then we have problem statement template, literature review background writing template, literature matrix template. This one I used for yesterday's class. Systematic literature review template, thesis proposal abstract template. And then we also have proposal defense, Viva questions template. Okay, how do I get this? how do, okay, actually, Nasrullah, please stop annotating. Don't annotate. Clear all drawings. Okay. Okay, all right. Let me. Okay. So, you guys don't need to annotate. If you guys want the slides, I don't mind sharing after the class. But for that, you guys need to stay until end of the class lah. Then only I'll be able to share. Okay. So, proposal defense Viva questions. This template also is there in my Telegram group. Okay. Then we have full thesis table of content. This one very beautiful. That means how to design the whole thesis. And yeah, coming, Ethan. All the table of content, how do you design the whole thesis or even your proposal also. And database hierarchy. That means literature review. Which database you're supposed to use? Got so many. That is what we're going to explore today as well. Okay. So all of these are very simple. It's located in my Telegram group right here. Okay. I think we are the biggest academic Telegram group in the world. I don't think there's any other group at this size, 12,000 people. And it's a group. So that means you guys can come in and join and ask questions, share knowledge, share your questionnaire for data collection. I will allow. As long as it's not marketing, I will allow. So very simple. I'll give you the link now. Not this, sorry. Okay, this is the link. Okay, so this is the link. Please, all of you click that link right now. Okay, once you click, you'll arrive here. Okay, so you can ignore this for, okay, not ignore. These are the previous classes you can go and watch. Okay, I'll remove it soon. I haven't updated yet. These are all the services that we provide. You can check out what we actually do. And then you can also watch my video, request thesis journal templates, join my Facebook group. Okay, this is our second group. Okay, this is our second group. We got one private group, one public group. Private group has 57,000 members. Public group just newly started, has about 4,000 over members. Okay, Telegram group has about 12,000 members, so you can come and join. This is how you join. Click this. All our free video classes are here. Okay, if you want to watch, you can go here. All the free notes are available here. Then our TikTok channel, okay, which is catching fire now. Okay, slowly I'm moving to TikTok, and then my YouTube channel as well. Okay, so all of the links are here. Take 1 minute. Okay, you can join Telegram group here. Okay, and then you can click join here. Okay, so I'll give you 1 minute to join. And once you join, Tapa, you guys join dulu. Then I'll show you how to look for the template very quickly. Yeah, very quickly. Once you guys have joined, let me know. Okay, we have a couple of people, a couple of candidates already joined. 30 more seconds. 25 seconds. 15 seconds. 5 seconds. Okay. So for those who Parvati just came, no problem. This is the link. You can click this and then join the Telegram group. Okay. Click this, look for Telegram group and join immediately. Yeah. So once you are here, click the search button here. Okay. For those who are clicking it from your desktop, I think not all of you will have Telegram desktop. Okay. But if you have, the search button is right up there. Okay. You can see, you see that mouse right there. That one. For mobile phone, for mobile phone, you can see the name up there, Dr. Tawas Academia. So you hit that name right there, and then you'll appear. You can look for search icon. Then you can search from there. Okay. So you type here template. Okay. Under the search, you type template, and you can find all the templates here. Everything is here for download. Okay. This group is very, very important in the sense that daily tutorial that I share will also be posted here automatically. Okay. It will be shared here automatically, as you can see here. Okay. Most of the notes will be posted here. All right. So if you miss out on Facebook, you can also view it here. All right. So I hope that is clear. If some of you are having trouble to join, please let me know. Okay. So with that, let's start our session today. Oh, sorry. Our session today. We are going to look at topic selection and then scouting via analytical idea mining. Okay. So when it comes to, okay, analytical idea mining, and then we are also going to look at all about research gaps, which will help out in this scouting process. Okay. And then databases to look for papers that will help research gaps. Okay. My classes is reversely arranged. Okay. So that you can see the goal and then we go to the next part, and then we see the goal and then we go to the next part. Here is the link. The link is right up there, Adiat. It's just above you. Okay. Just look up. Oh, you just joined, is it? Okay, probably you cannot see the conversation earlier. Okay, I've shared again. All right. Then from literature databases, we are going to look at hands-on paper crunching on how to actually do content analysis of a paper. Okay, content analysis of a paper. And finally, from proposal, pathways to publications. All right, that's what we are looking at today. So before we get started, you guys don't need to answer this, okay, because obviously you guys are very new to my classes. Now, a bit of ice breaking to all of you. Okay, I need all of you to answer. What is your name? Whether you're pursuing your PhD, masters, or if you're a supervisor, and what is your subject area? So please answer all of this in the chat box, all of you. Okay, please do. Okay, so we have a huge number today, and from various faculty as well, which is fantastic to see. Okay, we have from almost every area. Okay, that's very, very good. Okay. I can see that we are coming from various faculties. Why I ask this? Because I want to generalize the class as much as possible. Okay, I want to generalize the class as much as possible so that everyone can understand. Okay, now let's get into how to select a topic. Okay, this is very important. Okay, for those, this is important for those who are actually scouting for a topic, for those who are actually writing their proposal but not getting anywhere with their proposal, for those who are intending to write new publication, especially for supervisors or students who want to go into new areas, they want to write more papers. This would be very, very, very important. Masters or PhD, you can use the same technique. Okay, when it comes to a topic, make sure that the topic is within your interest, if it is possible for you to do that. And Whether if you don't find anything within your interest, then you can see whether it's relatable to your situation or not. What does it mean by relatable to my situation? That means, let's say you are working in an organization, or you're working in government, or you're working in a manufacturing industry. So whether you're doing research in social science or policy development, you can look into those aspects of that on improving your workplace. Or if you're an engineering background, you want to look into that in a manufacturing environment, R&D environment, you can look into that also. Or if you have a medical environment, you want certain things to be improved or certain technique to be introduced, whether it's surgical, public health, or and so on, that also. So these are all either within your interest or related to your situation. Okay, you can decide based on that. All right. So now let's say you don't have anything that is meeting this criteria. Okay, then you can, if it is a no, then you can hard pause and decide on a different focus area. If the starting itself is already a jerk, then it's a big problem, because a lot of students, when they start their coaching program with us, or they start their consulting program with us, PhD student, master student, even supervisors for their publications. Okay, when they start that with us, especially students, I would say, I have to be fair, especially students, they will tell me, I want to do PhD in education, example. Then I'll be like, okay, what do you want to focus on? Education, like doctor, anything in education. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, that doesn't work that way. Education is a big, humongous area. So you must know within education, what specific area do you like is within your interest, or it's something relatable to your situation, okay, that you would like to explore. That's how normally I will decide. Okay, that's how normally I will assist or I will advise. So if you don't have anything similar to what is, relatable to your situation or interest, then you should look into a different area altogether. All right. Let's say if it is a yes, you found something. Okay. Next question would be, does it fulfill your specific goals or not? Okay. You might have certain goals that you want to achieve as part of your PhD or master's. Some questions that you want to find answers. Okay. If you have those, great. So your next question would be, does it fulfill those goals or not? If it is a no, then you need to deep dive to find a gap. Okay, when I say gap, a same study can have different kinds of gap. Okay, different angles of gap, different various kind of things you can do. So deep dive to find a gap. This I will explain more in the next coming slides based on our 6 different gaps. Okay. Now, let's say if it is a yes, okay, you already have a concrete idea, you know that this all meets your specific goals. Next question you want to ask is whether the topic is unique and novel or not. Okay, whether it's unique and novel or not. Basically different from current studies. This one you need, very importantly, you need to have a concrete answer here. This one is something that you cannot take it for granted. Okay, because don't ever reinvent the wheel. Okay, you want to modify the properties of the wheel, it's okay, but don't change the shape. Same goes to research. Okay, must be different from current studies. Let's say if it is a no, okay, that means a study can be overexploited. You have the idea, it meets the goal, but when you study more and more, you cannot find any necessarily you cannot find any problem that you want to solve. You cannot really identify anything. Okay, that could be because that area was or is still overexploited. What is overexploited? Too many researchers, too many ideas, too many studies within the same specific scope. Is that bad? No, it is not bad. It is just that that is a hot area. Okay, that is a very hot and sizzling area. Why? Example, HR. Human resource is predominantly one of the most overexploited area. Is that wrong? No. Is that bad? Definitely no. Because human resource is everywhere. Particle physics is not everywhere, although it's everywhere. Particles are everywhere, but we don't know. A lot of people don't know. So very little people do research into it. So therefore, you can always find new areas to improve. Okay. But when it comes to HR, everyone knows what is HR, human resource. That's the basic that is the basic function as a human resource. So that is applicable everywhere. Government office, private office, micro enterprises, public listed companies, universities, everywhere there is human resource. So there is always a lot of studies in that area. So when it comes to overexploitation, where you cannot find a new research gap, then creative thinking is required. Okay. What is creative thinking? I will also explain this in the next slide. Okay. Let's say you can apply creative thinking. What is creative thinking? It is basically adding a new research angle on futuristic perspectives, which works as a function of time, physical, cultural, or situation, or a combination of all of those. Okay. So now, when it comes to, okay, now let's say that is the pathway for no lah. You cannot find any novelty. So you go into over exploitation area. That means you use creative observation or creative thinking. No more critical thinking, creative thinking to create new ideas. Now, let's say your idea is memang it is unique and novel. Okay, it is very clear. Then if it is a yes, then there is definitely opportunity for new contribution. And you can already immediately start your engine. This is the topic selection pathway. Now, how do you synthesize these areas? Okay, like how do you scout? That's how you scout. You scout for topic. You see the novelty. You see whether it's viable or not. This is the area I want to dive in, and so on and so forth. How do you do that? How do you scout for topic? Firstly, obviously, pick a topic or questions that you badly want to find answer. Okay, you want answers for this area. Google Scholar is awesome. Okay, I love Google Scholar as well, but it has its limitations. Google Scholar. What are the limitations? Google Scholar is very prone to giving predatory journals. Unfortunately, we don't want that. At any cost, we don't want that. Why? Because when you, okay, let's say you're building a house. Okay, you're building a house. Here you use all Web of Science, Scopus journals, all good journals. Even Scopus, some are predatory, but it's okay. All right, that is unavoidable. Okay, but let's leave that for another topic. Now, let's say you're building a house with good cement here and fake cement here. Your house will crumble. Okay, if you hit at the right spot, if you get the right examiner to hit you at the right spot, your whole idea will crumble. We don't want that. We don't want to build our whole idea based on predatory journals, fake journals, scam journals, all these things. So we want to make sure that we are only reading good journals, credible journals, indexed journals. Even if non-indexed journal also, never mind, because some studies you cannot find indexed journals, especially some very, very delicate Islamic studies area, legal areas, geography areas, you know, this kind of areas, very hard to find sometimes. The specific indexed journals. You can still read non-indexed journals, but make sure the non-indexed journals are credible. You know, a lot of people are citing the papers. It is a credible journal. They are not charging a lot of money to publish, or maybe they are very free. I mean, they're altogether free journal. Usually, usually a free journal, okay, they don't charge you any APC, article processing charges. That means usually they're very legit because they're not making any money. They don't want to be predatory. Okay, so it's still okay to look at unindexed, but you must do your own filtration. But to avoid all the problems, I always advise my participants, my followers, to search on Web of Science or Scopus databases to be safe, to be safe. Okay, in case if you don't know how to use Web of Science or Scopus searches, watch my videos. Okay, on my playlist I shared earlier. If you guys missed out my link, we have a lot of new joiners coming in. If you guys missed out my link earlier, here is my link. You can go there and you can access to all my free classes, about 125 classes now. Okay, the link is given in this particular link. Okay, now you have already decided which database. Database is clear. Now, we need to decide on keywords and related terms when you search. Okay, how to build search string. I will teach you, I will show you in the next class, but most detailed, I've already taught in the previous classes, both Web of Science and Scopus classes. You can go and watch that. And then carefully use these operators and watch my videos to understand the search string better. Then next one, we look for problems within the limitation of study of publication, future study of publication. Some papers will write it, or assumption taken of of research papers, or sometimes even you can look for limitation of study and future study within thesis. Proposal don't have lah, but within thesis will have. This all can be future new research gap, future studies, your own study. You can exploit those. All right, this is shortcut lah, shortcut. Then you can also read review papers. Okay, shortcut is not necessarily a bad thing. Shortcut is just a more intelligent way of looking at things, not plagiarizing, but looking at a more intelligent perspective. Then next place of finding new ideas, read review papers, whether systematic, scoping, or narrative review, doesn't matter. As long as you can find gaps, go for latest 3 years papers. If it's even better if you go on descending order from the newest to the oldest. Okay, descending. Yeah. And then only finally read empirical papers. Why finally read empirical papers? Because if you don't know what areas you're going to look into, very early on, if you start reading empirical papers, you won't really benefit much. I mean, I'm not against it. If you find something interesting, you can read, but it won't really give you an edge because you don't even know what you're going to do. All right. Then finally, triangulate the information you synthesize from steps 4, 5, and 6 to formulate a credible problem and research gap. Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, creative observation or creative thinking rather than critical thinking in the case where overexploitation took place and you cannot find answers or you cannot find new research idea, you can look into, I'm giving you an example. This is how you can synthesize a topic. So I am presently looking into this topic. Okay. Ethan asked a very good question. What does empirical paper mean? It is any papers that has data. Okay, whether experimental data, quasi-experimental data, quantitative data, qualitative data, mathematical data, whichever method, random RCT, random control trial, clinical studies, whatever mode that you are going on, okay, as long as there is data, that is known as empirical paper because there is empirical data to be synthesized. When there is no empirical data, that is called review paper. Shana Sakir, what is, okay, let me just write that down also. Later I can post this on Facebook also. Okay. If you don't get latest 3 years work, then what should do? I don't think you, that means don't even work on that area. If people don't do any research for the past 3 years, why are you looking into that area? That is the first question. Because that means it's not a hot area. No one is researching into it. There is something is wrong. Whether your keyword is wrong or the whole area is not necessarily a fair area to look at because you're going to struggle in terms of literature. I'll tell you why. I'll show you analytical idea mining shortly so you can apply that. Okay. So now let's work on this topic. Like I said, empirical paper is the same as research paper, any journal that has data. As long as there is data, that is called everything. Actually, everything is research paper. Review paper is still research paper because you cannot write review paper without doing researching. Everything in the journal article are known as research paper. Okay, except it's tutorial paper lah. If it is tutorial paper, then it's not research paper anymore because it's a tutorial paper. They're teaching you. But review paper, empirical paper, everything, they are all known as research paper. Okay. But Dr. Review paper can also have data, right? Not necessarily. If it's data paper can have review, literature review, which definitely will have. But review paper stand alone would not have data because the moment it has data, if you're talking about meta-analysis, then yes. Meta-analysis is not physically collected data. It's like you're taking data from other people's study. It's not your own data. Meta-analysis is a different story. It comes with review paper. But when review paper has physically collected data, that means your own data, that is already became empirical paper. Okay. There is no point you collect data, you do analysis, and then you call it review paper. Okay, it's like you're downgrading your paper. I'm not saying review paper is a bad thing, but generally it's easier to publish empirical paper versus review paper. Review paper is tougher to publish. Okay, so if you already have data and you are writing a paper, then you just call it empirical paper. Just call whatever title you want to call. Don't call it review paper anymore. If topic is widely appear in media and grey literature, but very few academic papers. Kalau macam if that's the case, Alex, then you need to establish your literature with white papers. I mean, your industrial papers lah. You need to establish your topic with white papers. We call it industrial papers as white papers. But that's going to be quite tough. That's going to be quite tough. As long as supervisor is okay with that, then I think that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, I don't think that will be a problem. But try to look for an area where literature actually persists. Okay, literature actually is there. Okay, otherwise you have a lot of struggle to go through. You can do, but it's going to be a struggle. Okay, all right. So let's look at this topic: retention and development of Generation Y employees. Okay, why is that? Retention and development are two tough factors when it comes to Generation Y employees. Okay, because they tend to jump jobs, they tend to change jobs and so on. This is an existing study that I like to look at. But however or whichever method I look at or try to read, I don't necessarily find a new research gap. Okay, so what can I do? What are the other things that I can do to improve this? Like, to actually overcome this problem. I use creative observation technique. Okay, with analytical idea mining. Like what Alex mentioned and also Shana's mentioned, there is no latest literature. Normally, this is what I would do. Okay, I'll show you this technique. This technique will be very, very useful for you guys. So, example, this is a topic, back to the same topic. Okay, so we have 5 different creative observation, but we are going to ignore this. Okay, because you know why? This will come in the second class. We'll go more into details about that. But I just want to touch base here so that you guys can make use of this technique also. So, my point of view when I look at this, always look at various angles of a topic. Okay, don't look at A as A. Look at A from various angles of A. Example, different shapes, different form, different material, those kind of things. So here my problem is retention and development of Generation Y employees. My first thought is, how long are we going to think about retaining and developing this Generation Y employees? Because I cannot find any more solution to change the whole generation. So I read and a lot of people are talking about retaining, giving training, talent development, this, that, extra perks, this, that, but businesses are struggling. People are getting laid off in thousands. Okay, my point of view so far, my POV so far, people are getting laid off in thousands, 12,000 laid off, 8,000 laid off, and so on. And yet Generation Y doesn't want to stick around. And business is very bad. So what can employers do to keep them? They never had this problem before with previous Generation X or baby boomers because they tend to stick around. They are quite loyal. Okay, I'm not saying Generation Y is bad. It is what it is. There's a different way of thinking. We can never blame that. But if the whole working ecosystem stops, everything will stop. The whole economy will stop. So I want to look at what would be the impact on organization or employers by giving special care to Gen Y. It's a totally different angle. I don't look at how to keep these people anymore. Okay, I mean, I'm not looking at keeping this generation anymore. But what I would be, from this study, what I would be interested is how these people are going to sustain. Because a lot of things are going bankrupted, people cannot sustain, industry cannot sustain, no business is coming, spending, inflation is on the rise. What is going to happen? All right. So I want to totally look at different angle. Okay, like I said, just a different function to see and to analyze this study or this topic. So here I want to see how organizations or employees are going to sustain by, or what is their impact by giving this special care to Gen Y. So hence, my keywords are going to be organizational impact, Generation Y, millennials. Okay, these 3 are my keywords. Okay, so this whole thing is going to be my search string. Okay, there are three, someone's mic is not, okay. There are three important elements when it comes to literature, no, when it comes to the initiation of literature review. Search string, keywords, and this. Now I need to ask all of you, okay, what are these? What do you call it? If you don't know, you just say don't know. No problem. If you don't know, you can say don't know. If you know, please share what it is. If you don't know, it's good to say don't know because then I can explain what it is. Okay? Anyone don't know? Okay. Okay. So, okay, for those who don't know, okay, this is the string that you need to use when you go and search for papers related to this area. This is the area I want to explore. All right. So when I construct this whole thing, this is called search string. That is the technical name of it. These are called keywords. All right. These are keywords. Now, these are known as Boolean operators. Thank you for those who answered. For those who don't know, these are known as Boolean operators. Can you search without Boolean operators? Absolutely, you can. But you will end up with a lot of rubbish results. Results that are not even related to your study. Okay, not even related to your study. So what will happen if you don't use Boolean operators? When you don't use Boolean operators, let's say your search string is like this. So you will get a lot of papers, all the papers on organizational impact, all the papers on Generation Y, all the papers on millennials, all the papers that talks about organizational impact and Generation Y, all the papers that talks about organizational impact and millennials, and all the papers talks about Generation Y and millennials, and all the papers that talks about organizational impact, Generation Y and millennials. So you'll get all the papers. Okay, literally all the papers. So this will be a waste, 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 okay, and this will be a waste. So all of these are appearing in front of your screen, and you have to go through every tab to search for the papers that is right for you, and that is absolutely inefficient and a waste of time. Okay, when you spend a lot of time searching for literature, you actually spend lesser time to write because you're spending a lot of time getting the right material, and by that time you're already tired. Or you're already distracted, you already go back to TikTok, or you go back to Facebook, or you're already on Shopee to shop. So you need to cut down the time to search papers and actually apply the time to read the papers and summarize the paper. That's where you're supposed to redirect your time. So in order to assist that, we need to use Boolean operators when you search so that the results comes out as organizational impact and Generation Y, or organizational impact and millennials. Those are the only papers you will get. You won't get anything else. You might get like a bit of leakage here and there. So instead of 12,000 papers or 20,000 papers, if you put the Boolean, you'll only get 3,000 papers. So you save time scrolling through the rest of the 10,000 papers. Imagine how much of time you save. Okay. So you also won't be distracted very fast. You will get to the point very quickly. And you are very much focused into what exactly you're going to search. Okay. All right. So now let's see, based on this search string, how we are going to conduct the search. As I promised, this will be a very, very miniature type of hands-on class. So this is Web of Science search. All right. If you're not using Web of Science search, I know UM has access to it, if I'm not mistaken. Please make use of it. It is very, very important that you use Web of Science database. Google Scholar also definitely okay, but Web of Science is more effective in the sense that it gives out papers only indexed in Web of Science. That means you get the cream of the crop. Okay, you get the top layer lah. All right. So here okay, this is how the database looks like. So we start with topics, we add row because you got 3 keywords. And then first one, we are going to take organizational impact. Then our second Boolean is N, and we take Gen Y. And then our second Boolean is O, and we are going to take millennials. Why Gen Y or millennials? Because it's an interchangeably used term. All right. Some people call it Gen Y in their paper. Some people call it millennials in their paper. All right. So now I don't put any date range because I want to see, like someone raised the issue earlier. I don't get any recent papers and so on. Okay, this is how you search. Okay, once you have searched here, you can see 3,107 results. Okay, 3,107 results. Now, are these the papers I'm looking for? Organizational learning and Gen Y employees effective commitment. The mediating role of competency development, definitely. Managing millennials, yes. Effect of work fulfillment, yes. Understanding future leaders, yes. Effect of employee voice, yes. Development retention, yes. Gen X and Gen Y women managers, yes. Incorporating ethics strategy management regards to Generation Y view of ethics, yes, absolutely. The unexpected side of relational EHRM developing trust in HR department, yes, somewhat related. So these are somewhat related. Okay, so I want to go up and see all these papers that gave me. Can Boolean operators used in Google Scholar? Can, but the way that you key in would be slightly different on Google Scholar. Okay. So now I want to analyze the result because I want to look at the data analytics part of it. That means my analytical idea mining technique will be applied now. Okay. What is analytical idea mining? I'm literally using data to support my idea mining process. So I click analyze results. I click publication. Yes. Okay. Now from this, what can you guys observe? These are the years. And these are the number of papers published every year. From this, what is the observation that you guys can comprehend or you guys can understand? Please share with me in the chat box. Okay. Okay, observe again this area. Observe again this area. Okay. So you can see from 2014, this is 2023. So this is still present here. So don't worry about this. You can ignore this. 2014, increase. 16 increase. 17 increase. 18 increase. Then 19 increased. 2021, very small. You see, this one and this one, large increase, large gradient. Okay. But this one, small increase. And this one, from here to 2020, small increase. 2021, it declined. Okay, it declined. Yes, EE thing. That is very, very true. That's why this area, there is no significant increase. It's maintaining, it's kind of saturated already because of what do you call the COVID-19. This one all lockdown period. So you cannot judge this. Most of the research, and here we are still recovering 2022. So, and also some papers are being still under review. Some are accepted, tapi belum published full, maybe early access. And then, haven't got into Web of Science indexing yet. So this will soon increase. Some journals are quite slow, will soon increase more. But these are all due to COVID. Because if you think of it logically, over the years, Gen Y, this is how they are behaving. Okay, not in a negative manner. That is just generally how they behave. Okay, how they perceive things or perceive their work. But suddenly, are we thinking that there's lesser Gen Y and Gen Y all changed already, that the research reduced? No, it's just natural problem. Okay, environmental natural problem. Otherwise, it's still a very, very presently very, very hot topic. Okay, all right. So this is how you can deduce. Now, for those who say, I don't have recent paper, I don't have recent research and so on, build your search string, go to Web of Science, do a search and see. Analytical idea mining. Does it actually work? Is there any recent papers or not that is relevant? If it is no, then you need to really re-strategize whether you are in the right topic or not. Okay. So with that, let's go to the next part. Now we are looking at all